Welcome back, everybody, to our podcast. My name is Bree.
I'm Isaac.
I'm Kelsey.
And today we're doing another movie review. It is Color Out of Space. Anybody want to go off with, like, some basic information before we dive in, or?
I'll do it.
Let's do it.
Sweet.
So, Color Out of Space is a science fiction body horror co-written and directed by Richard Stanley, based on the short story of the same name by H.P. Lovecraft, and you should know who that is. He's a very famous, that's not even a word, famous writer. Very shitty person, we don't stand, but he's a pretty good writer. And it's the first film in what is supposed to be a trilogy of Lovecraft adaptations set in the same universe.
Oh,
so,
I didn't know
the
that.
next one, the next one is going to be the Dunwich Horror, and apparently the director from this one is writing it right now. And it's pretty much about, like, a family living on a farm with alpacas, living their best life. And one day, a meteor crash lands in their front yard, and a whole bunch of weird shit happens. That's pretty much the premise of the movie. Yeah, spoilers from here on out, but that's the gist. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's on Shudder.
Yep, and quick disclaimer, this movie is really not rated for minors. It does have some depictions of...
Not for kids.
Lots of, not, like, a lot of it, like, just completely saturated, but, like, some of the stuff that it does have is pretty well used throughout the entirety of the movie, like... body parts and gore and blood and explosions and stuff.
Oh yeah, the body horror in this movie is not for children.
Yeah, absolutely not.
It's real. It's fucking intense.
It could also, like a minor warning label for like anybody with seizures.
Yeah, if you're prone to if you have like epilepsy, right? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, epilepsy.
Like photosensitivity. I don't remember.
Lots of bright lights, sort of flashing lights occasionally.
Yeah. If you couldn't watch that one Pokemon episode with the flashing lights, you're not going to be able to watch this movie. So just fair warning.
Okay, so I guess since we got the intro and everything and everybody kind of knows the gist of the movie, did anybody not like it? Let's just throw that out there real quick.
I don't think so. I liked
it. I mean, this is my second time watching it, so obviously I liked it.
Okay, you guys ready for the shocker? I actually liked it.
What?
Yeah.
Bree's on the same page for once.
I liked it. Like, it wasn't... God damn it, Kelsey, with you and moving.
What? I had to move. The dog was on me.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Oh my god. What do you want me to do?
I actually liked it. I didn't, like, love it, but I really liked it.
Yeah.
I liked the use of the colors. I liked the actors.
Yeah, the actors.
Yeah, this is a Nicolas Cage movie, so.
Yeah.
Noticed right from the beginning of the movie, like, oh wow, they're actually pretty good actors. I'm excited for this.
Yeah.
I have a feeling this is going to be good.
I honestly didn't take that many notes this time.
Mm-hmm.
I only have one page, surprisingly enough. But, I mean, I liked it, but, like, at the same time, like, the dialogue was a little weird for me.
Yeah.
Like, I think it was just, like, the timing of it, the pacing.
Mm-hmm.
It was very, very obvious that Nicolas Cage, who played the father, he was being purposely overly dramatic.
That's Nicolas Cage.
I know, but, like, it was, and, like, it sort of, like, at first it was, like, kind of weird. Because you're just like, what? But, like, when he starts, like, going a little cuckoo wacko and then starts, like, taking after his dad and everything, then you can, that worked out a lot better. Because it was like, oh, he's being like his dad because he's using this tone and he's walking this certain way and whatnot. And then it's like, oh, he's back to normal. And then it, like, switches over and it, like, works for him and his style. But, like, at the beginning, before they all went, like, fucking nuts, it was just a little weird for me.
Yeah, like, in the beginning, he was still kind of overacting or, like, casing it up sort of even before they all start going wacko.
And that was, like, really super prominent in when they were like, oh, look at this house that we got. It was, like, the mom and the dad. It was just like, look at this house. Oh, we did it. This is our dream. And one person dream is two people's reality. And
very Lovecraftian, honestly.
Like,
just ridiculous.
I was like, oh, okay. And then, I don't know, I kind of...
Later on, it really made sense, I think.
Yeah.
He was the perfect guy for that, just, like, extreme, intense overacting or, like, over-emoting.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, horror is, like, his perfect genre. He should just make horror movies.
It really is. I was a little skeptical when I found out, like, he was in it. I figured it was going to be terrible. Like, I wasn't going to like it. But, like I said, like, at first, it was kind of weird, kind of awkward at the beginning. Like, they were trying too hard to make it look normal without trying to let on something was weird. Like, even before anything happened, like, that's what it felt like. And then, like, as they gradually, like, started losing themselves, like, that's when it started working together better. And it was just, like, going better with the flow of the story. And I was just, I don't know, it was just fucking weird at the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, it did just feel kind of eerie or just, like, out of place almost.
A little bit.
Yeah.
But not, like, enough to where it was, like, super uncomfortable. Like, it was just like, this is really bad. It was just like, it's really weird. But it worked in the end.
Yeah, once everyone started, like, losing their minds or just, losing their shit, it seemed like everyone was having, like, their own personal bad acid trip or something, almost.
Yeah. That movie was a bad acid trip.
It was. Yeah, it's like they're all going into their own, like, little realities, their own, like, little worlds, and just gradually getting, like, separated from each other. It's pretty great.
And I liked how it just, like, happened to coincidentally have, like, a dude that's over there to test the waters, and, like, the first clue that you get is from the water.
Yeah.
Like, I loved that. I was just like, okay, I see what you did there.
Yeah, and I remember reading this, like, 8 years ago, the story, and, like, vaguely remember it. I remember, like, the intro to the movie, and obviously, like, the ending are both from the actual story itself, or mostly quoted from it, if I remember correct. But I didn't remember much about the story though, so it was pretty much like watching it new. I just remember there was like a meteor, and I think in the original version it was cows that got like mutated.
Yeah.
But I liked the alpacas.
That was fun.
I loved the alpacas. But I knew from the very beginning when I saw the alpacas, it's like, oh no, something terrible is going to happen to those alpacas.
Poor baby.
I didn't see this coming. Yeah, poor baby.
Yeah. Nobody in that movie was safe except for like Ward. Is that his name? Like Ward?
Ward.
The person who's literally the audience in the movie. Like he's us. That's who his character is. He was the only person that was safe. Even the dog died.
Well, that's because he was the only one that didn't drink the water.
Yeah.
I know that. I know why he didn't die. I was just saying, like, if you're looking for a body count, this movie has a body count.
And that's what was just so funny about it. Is like the dude that came here to study the water was the only one that survived because he studied the water.
Science, yo. Pay attention.
Like, that was it.
That's the experts.
Like, honestly, how timely is that we watched this year when everything is going on? Like,
right.
Trust the experts, people, or else we're all gonna be a part of some weird acid trip and morph together, and all hell is gonna break loose. Honestly, I could see something like that happening.
Right. Yeah.
Something terrible.
Yeah, I did like how it started. It started out just so slow and like innocuous. It was like, just something seems a little off, maybe. And it was one of those things where it's like, damn, that escalated quickly. It's like when the mom and the kid get fused together. That was slightly traumatizing. I was a little bit traumatized by that. I'm not gonna lie. That was pretty horrifying.
I thought the alpacas like getting morphed was weird, but like as soon as like you see them in the attic together, the mom and the son, it was like, oh, okay. Oh. This is very like the first time I watched The Thing. It's like kind of traumatizing. I don't know how I feel.
That part really made me laugh so freaking hard.
Really?
She was scary.
Well, no, because
like
I messed up because I thought I wasn't gonna have enough time to watch this movie before we recorded it. I went and I looked at the summary for the movie and I started looking at reviews and stuff, trying to get as much information as I could. So like I knew like the order of what everything was supposed to happen. So when I started watching it and it started getting to, the part where the alpaca's fused, I was like, how much you want to bet? How much you want to bet it's going to look like the goddamn monster from The Thing? How much you want to bet? And
I
like,
had that go through my head too.
yeah. And then, like, the first glimpses that you get of the alpaca monstrosity is, like, the close-up shots of, like, the mouths and their eyes and everything. And I was like, I'm betting $100 right now it's gonna look like the Thing from fucking, like, the monster. It's gonna look exactly like the Thing. And then what happens? It's just this big, bloody fucking mess. Which, by the way, I didn't understand, like, why Ward was saying that it was looking like radiation burns when it just looked like the animals and whatnot just looked like they got de-skinned.
Yeah, that was a little odd. The line didn't quite match up.
Yeah, it didn't quite fit, because I was like,
it's like he didn't want to believe what he was actually seeing, so he's trying to like justify it with something.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
And that was my thought on it, but like at the same time it was like, burns, why would you use that word? It doesn't look like burns. It looks like a liquidy, gooey mess.
Well, I don't know. Maybe he knows something we don't. I don't fucking know.
And then,
I was too busy looking at the fucking thing that was marked.
The other thing too is like the whole sunlight hurts them moment, right? So like this is when the mom and the son are fused together and they're sitting on the couch and like the curtains are open, they start to burn, like, So they decide, and this confused me, they decided to put them in the attic next to the big freaking triangle window.
Next to the window and nothing happened.
And like they don't cover it up, even though they just had like this big realization that it's the sunlight that hurts them. Yeah. And then they just throw them in there and like nothing happens, and you could see that the freaking mom and the son fused together is like in the light, but nothing happened.
This is true.
That's weird. I don't know.
But I think what it was mainly, because I was trying really hard not to judge it, but like I think mainly that some of the inconsistencies with the stories, because I also felt like the characters, when they were going through their own like psychological breakdown, it was kind of like an unfinished story for each of them, except for the mom and the son. Like that one's pretty done. But like it was kind of unfinished. Like they would start it off, they had a plan, but didn't really get a chance to execute it.
Yeah, then kind of like the brother just kind of quickly, okay, now he's gone.
Yeah.
Okay, and then quickly like, okay, now the main girl's gone now.
And then, oh no, like the dad's gone, but he's not gone. And then all of a sudden this guy's back, but like he aged and he's got gray in his beard. So I'm wondering if that's got to do with the fact that it's supposed to be a trilogy.
I mean, it's maybe, but like these characters don't show up in like the second book, or not like the second book, but like the story that's going to be the second movie. Yeah. Like it's in the same area, like it's in the Arkham area, but like the Dunwich Horror is like it's like different people. But then again, they did take some names from the Dunwich Horror and put them in here, because like there's a character in the Dunwich Horror named Lavinia, but there's not a character named Lavinia in The Color Out of Space. So, like, I don't really know how it's going to work. So I'm, like, kind of like, maybe, but also, like, he just said it was just going to be a shared universe, not, like, a continuation of the story.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what's going on. It's going to be a Marvel universe for Lovecraft shit. That's all I know.
Yeah, I'm excited. There's definitely some, like, self-referential stuff going on in it that I kind of liked. Like, she just happens to have a copy of the Necronomicon. For some reason, I was like, what? That's kind of meta, isn't it?
Like, the first time I watched this, like, I completely forgot that this was, like, in the Lovecraft universe. And, like, then I saw the Necronomicon. I was like, oh, shit, yeah, that's where we are. I forgot where we were. I thought it was, so I'm excited.
Reality, yeah.
I'm excited to see what they're going to do.
Yeah, I feel like this line has good potential, because it did have, like, a really great undertone of, like, uncertainty and kind of like creepiness. And I love how they played on that
confusion.
Yeah, so like at the very beginning you get like the nice calm relaxed feeling, but then it's like, oh well, what's gonna happen? And then it doesn't like build too much, but it's there. It's just like this undercurrent of just like, ooh, what the fuck? And then right as it starts to like build together, it comes out fucking hard and fast, and it just stays there until the very end of the movie. And you're just like, okay.
came out of nowhere. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like just kind of creepy for the first part, and then the good last part of the movie, I was just like legitimately disturbed for pretty much the entire time, and just like,
Yeah. It was
okay,
very
wow,
unsettling.
okay, wow, this is insane. The scene where Nicolas Cage's character goes up to shoot the wife and the son.
Yeah.
And then, and then he can't do it, and he kisses her, and the strings of goo coming off her lips. Like, it was so fucking disturbing.
And then he does it again, and then like the strings aren't even there.
Great.
So it was like, is it like a hallucination that happened, or like what? Because it only happened the one time. He kissed her twice, and he only got the stringies once. Like the second time he kissed her, her mouth was like,
see if they just forgot to give him stringies.
No, I think that's part of it. No.
Yeah.
I think that's part of it. Because, like, when you look at the whole, like, time warp thing and, like, everything changing and whatnot, and, like, they're like, going between, like, losing their minds and, like, having moments of clarity, like, I think that was part of it. Honestly. Or they really forgot and they fucked up. Like, that's where I'm at.
I think they just forgot. It just seems like a production thing.
But that is a good justification for it.
Yeah.
They did forget.
They could use that.
Yeah, they could use that.
I liked it. I really liked it. I didn't love it because there was quite a bit of, like, inconsistencies with it. But, like, I liked some of the... Well, I mean, I only found one little Easter egg. But I wasn't really looking either. And I'm not too familiar with H.P. Lovecraft's, like, actual work to, like, put it together. Like, this shot with the salamander, I was expecting more. I didn't see very much. It was just the fucking salamander on the well.
I mean, did you notice the things in the eyes? Like when he was staring at Lavinia's eyes and you could see like the tentacled creatures in her eyes. Did you notice that Easter egg?
Well, I was talking about the book that Ward was reading at the beginning. Did you notice the book he was reading at the beginning when his car was going crazy?
No, I was just staring at how hot he was.
Okay.
Honestly.
I found an Easter egg. So check it. When it was that part where he like first did the test on the water and noticed that it was radioactive and everything, he was outside the tent and he was reading a book, right? Well, then he heard something in the woods, so he goes over and looks, and then I also noticed that, like, the direction of the flashlight was often, like, in the camera lens. So, like, I kind of was wondering if that was, like, the first, like, real experience of disorienting the viewer to, like, you know, confuse them a little bit.
Yeah.
And then, you know, his car goes off and everything, but there's this one moment where he's got the book in his hand and he, like, lifts it up to, like, cover his eyes and everything, and you can perfectly see, like, the title. So, like, I looked it up. It's called The Willows Book, and apparently it was written by Algerman Blackwood. Supposed to be the finest supernatural tale in English literature, and this was said by H.P. Lovecraft himself.
Oh.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So it's a book that Lovecraft had read and was, like, influenced by.
Yeah, exactly. And that's where I was like, oh, that's cool. I paid attention, see?
Good catch.
And then, like, the whole thing with the color spectrum, too, like, I couldn't quite figure out, like, I couldn't find the information that I was looking for, but I know for a fact that the human eyes cannot see the entirety of the light spectrums. Like, there's, like, several, I think it's only, like, we only see, like, a small margin of them. And I think that's, like, why they also were talking about the colors so much is because, like, there's so much that we can't see, but, like, other animals and everything can see. And that was, like, being influenced by it. But, like, that's you could only get little glimpses. And especially when Ward was trying to see what was in the forest and all you got was, like, the little edges of the vision just shimmering ever so slightly. Yeah. And I think the only time he really got to see, like, the full effect of it is when, you know, what's her fucking name? Lavinia, like, disintegrated in front of the well as it was, like, shooting its load into the sky.
She had the coolest death out of everybody. Go Lavinia.
She did.
I loved her.
Very witchy death.
I loved her.
She was us in high school. I liked her a lot.
Yeah, she was great.
But it kind of drew my attention because, like, for all the characters that were drinking the water, the colors in the surrounding areas and whatnot were more vibrant compared to when you were looking with Ward. Ward was actually more dulled out and everything, and he couldn't see all of the vibrancies and the bright colors and everything.
Drinking the water,
Yeah. So, like,
It's
I noticed
trippy.
that, and then that made me think about the color spectrum and whatnot. And then this is, like, even further proven, like, at the very end where that explosion happened, and it's just white, like,
Mm.
Yeah.
everywhere. And white is supposed to be the absence of color.
Yeah. True.
I really
Technically,
paid
that's
attention.
not true.
What is it, black?
Well,
Yeah, black is the absence
Black.
of color.
white is a combination.
Well,
of everything.
yeah,
Yeah.
white is a combination, but everybody always thinks white is absence.
Yeah, I didn't learn that until actually watching Rob Zombie's remake of Halloween, where the doctor's like, "Oh, actually, black is the absence of color," and I looked it up and I was like, "Oh, I was wrong my
Yeah,
whole life."
yeah, the whole life. You always, like,
The more you
everybody always
know.
thinks, like, it's white, and like, that's why everybody's like, oh, white is pure, white is clean, blah, 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 but it's like,
Liza
nah,
Minnelli.
white is, like, the dirtiest freaking color there is.
Right. The most mixed color possible.
Yeah, but that was the thing with this, is, like, what if, knowing that, like, what if that was just, like, to make people think, like, the color was gone, but it's not really, it's all over the place now?
Yeah. Well, to my understanding, I thought it was interesting that they used like sort of a magenta color as the color out of space.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because to my understanding, magenta is a made-up color. We can't actually see the color that magenta is. Magenta is what our brain makes up, basically. Because we
Actually,
don't have the proper equipment to see the color it actually is.
Actually, what it is, because I looked this up when I was doing the color spectrum. So the magenta color line, it's not just one color, like light wave. It's like a combination of multiple light waves.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
can't recreate that with just one, like the visual ones that we can see. It's just a mixture. So it has to be blended in order for those colors to appear.
Hmm.
So everyone that's been criticized in this movie and been like, we can see that it's purple. That's not a special color. Fuck off. Okay, we
It
just
is a
explained
special
what's special.
color.
That-
Magenta is a very unique special color. Yeah, I like that they used.
That, and if you actually, like, pay attention to the lighting in it, it wasn't like a straight magenta. Like, they actually used
Yeah.
With
like
a combination.
a combination of lights coming in from different
Mix.
angles to actually mix it themselves, so you can see like overlapping shadows of different colors. And I know this because in my very room I have 3 different colored light bulbs in my thing, so I have various layers of color in my shadows.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Hey, my room's pretty trippy and great. But I liked the use of the colors.
I thought it was a really gorgeous movie. Visually.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Very pretty.
And I liked how, like, the more crazy they got, like, the more intense the color was. The only thing I really don't understand was the use of the living tree. That confused me a bit.
That's literally just Lovecraft shit, dude. It's so
it was so random.
Yeah.
It was so weird.
It was like being in the Wizard of Oz or something.
Yeah, because you go from, like, color penetrating things to, like, fusing things to, like, lights and, like, dazing moments and time manipulation, and then all of a sudden, living fucking tree that's gonna stab some dude in the goddamn mouth.
Yep.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Like,
Welcome
how
to
does that play
Lovecraft. How
in?
may I help you?
And
Random shit happens here.
Yeah, and that's its
Yeah.
only, like,
Seriously.
use of, like, a living plant, like, attacking. Like, other than that, like, normally the attacks are from light itself.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But that's, like, the first physical embodiment of an attack, other than the guns. But, like, the guns is used in moments of clarity that quickly dissipated.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Very true. Very true.
So, anyway, does anybody else have anything else to share?
It was produced by Elijah Wood. He produces horror movies now, and he produced another horror movie with Nicolas Cage called Mandy. It's on Shudder. Everybody should go watch it. It's really great. There's a chainsaw duel. You're welcome for showing you that.
Oh, goodness. Okay, anybody else?
I mean, I guess my biggest impression of the movie, or something I really enjoyed, was just like the psychological confusion of it and the terror of it, and it really did just make me feel sort of like disoriented and confused and like, wait, what the hell is happening? And why is everyone acting so weird? And yeah, really good job of just being like subtly unsettling, especially in the first part. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I like the psychological side.
I just remembered something.
What?
We didn't actually see the dog's body.
No, thank God.
Like, we
Well,
saw the
I
cats. No, we saw the cats. That was that close-up on the pile of mess in the truck with the collar. That was the G-spot, the cat.
Yeah,
Best name for a cat, by the way.
That was
Hands
great.
down, best name. Go Tommy Chong.
Oh yeah, Tommy Chong. I love that Tommy Chong was in this movie, and his character
Tone.
was like perfect for him too. It was amazing.
It was beautiful. But no, like, all you see for the dog is, like, the dog just running off. You hear, like, barking, a little bit of yelping. No, like, final, like, death yelp that you normally hear when canines expire during movies. And then you don't really see, like, nothing else after that. Like, you don't even see a collar or anything.
Good. That's because nobody wants to see it. No one wants that.
Yeah.
But everybody's okay with the cat?
I'm not okay with the cat, but it's like a lot. People like dogs more, and so it's a little more like it's a lot more disturbing for them to see a dog die.
I think it would be worse.
I mean, it's equal for me, but yeah, no. I'm glad I didn't have to see that. It was bad enough with the poor baby alpacas.
In the well, I thought the dog was at the thing at the bottom of the well, or that the thing that was moving down there actually was the dog, and that's why the brother was so convinced that he had to go down there, because the thing that was moving down there really was, yeah.
I'm gonna say, like, I don't really agree with that. Mainly because, yeah, you could hear the dog down in the well, and you do see some movement, but it doesn't, like, there's not even, like, a fleeting glimpse to try to cement that it is actually the dog. Like, there's nothing.
I think it was a hallucination kind of thing, because, like, remember how they were just hearing voices and
like
shit?
The calling thing.
Oh, true, yeah. That's true.
Yeah, I think the dog was already dead at that point, like, when that little kid was sitting in the yard. Yeah, I think he was already dead.
Yeah,
poor baby.
Absolutely, but it's not, I mean, no body, no death.
Yeah, right?
I should get that tattooed on me too.
Yeah, but no, I
that
liked
part
it.
was creepy too, when the brother just decided to go down the well. It's like, what the fuck are you doing?
Was it just me, or did his eyes glow a little bit when he was crawling in?
I don't remember.
I wasn't paying enough attention. I was looking down into the pit behind him.
Yeah.
Oh, hell no, I was looking around. I was looking around. No, I could have swore, like, his eyes were glowing a little bit, because it's the forehead first that glows, then the nose, and then chest, and then eyes, and then neck and shoulders. That was the same pattern for all the glowing. But I could have swore his eyes were glowing while he was crawling in, like, trying to convince his sister to let him go. But that's just me.
Perfectly possible.
Yeah, maybe. I didn't notice.
I was very, like, observant that day. Today.
Indeed.
Apparently.
I know. Okay, anybody else?
Do you have any final thoughts, Brie? Or are you good?
I'm good. I liked it. I would like to see more and see where this is going. I'm going to be very upset if Ward doesn't make an appearance in the second one, especially after, like, that whole little monologue thing at the end.
He's not in the book.
I'm going to be a little upset if they don't add that into it, because they made it sound like he's, like, all of a sudden, like, this wizened, like, hunter, and he's gonna find out everything. 'Cause, like, he's got gray in his beard. It's been a while, and he's still taking it seriously.
I would maybe want to see him in, like, the third installment, but not the second one. I don't really see I kind of want different stories told.
Well,
like, right now, not just his.
I'd even be just, like, happy if, like, it was, like, research notes, like, or, like, a journal of, like, what happened, because he says not very many people remember. So that would open up a window for him to, like, have a journal or something to where it gets
I'm sure it'll be brought up, because it is in the shared universe.
Yeah.
But I feel like this series has potential. I'm super excited. I would like to see where it goes on from here. Don't fuck it up.
Right.
I mean, if it's helmed by the same director and it's helmed by the same Elijah Wood's production company, it should be fine. It should be weird and fun and gross because that's their brand.
Yeah.
So I have hope. All right, well, thanks for listening. Make sure you follow us on Spotify, Podbean, YouTube, TuneIn, and hopefully soon Pandora. Once again, it takes like 4 to 6 weeks, but we're in a pandemic, so it might take longer. We have a Halloween episode coming up, don't worry, and we have another like controversial episode coming up, and we're super sorry about all the delays. Shit has been happening. Like, I can't really go into it, but we're really sorry. We have failed. Thank you, Karma, for barking. Appreciate that. But yeah, and we, like I said, we will continue leaving links to resources for you guys to support Black Lives Matter COVID responses and the Trans Lifeline and stuff because they need our love right now. Anyways, that's it. That's the outro. I'm done. I don't want to do it anymore.
All right. Adios.
Bye.
Bye.